trial set to begin for a former Leander High School football player accused of crimes against children. We'll have the latest from Georgetown. Plus, feeling the heat, President Obama criticized for not scheduling a trip to the border while he's in Texas for a fundraiser.
And temperatures out there jumping up quickly at this noon hour already. And we've got some of the hottest weather we've seen all year in your forecast. That's coming up.
And Baby Boom will show you the newest additions to the nation's zoos coming up. Good afternoon, I'm Brian Sanders. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. We start with developing news at noon coming out of Pflugerville. A major spill of untreated wastewater in Pflugerville. It happened overnight after officials say the Pflugerville wastewater treatment facility lost power, causing an overflow of more than 1 million gallons of untreated wastewater into Gilliland Creek. And very important here, anyone who uses private drinking water supply wells located within a half mile of the spill site and 1 mile downstream should only use water that has been either distilled or boiled for at least 1 minute. We have a crew headed to Pflugerville, and we'll have updates throughout this newscast and at KXAN.com. Again, this is in the Gilliland Creek area of Pflugerville. Jury selection is set to begin in the trial of 19-year-old Greg Kelly. He's the former Leander High School football player accused of sexually assaulting 2 4-year-old boys. Investigators say the assaults happened at an in-home daycare where Kelly was living at the time. He was first arrested in August of 2013 and then again less than a month later after Cedar Park police say a second boy claimed inappropriate contact with Kelly. Jury selection is expected to get underway at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Opening statements in the case are expected to begin tomorrow. Pressure is mounting for President Obama to visit the Mexico border while he's in Texas this week. He'll be in Austin Wednesday for 2 Democratic fundraisers, making the trip amid the growing border crisis where hundreds of children are now crossing into Texas illegally. So far, the White House says there are no plans for the president to visit the border. A spokesman says the president can't be everywhere he wants or even needs to be. This is video from the president's last visit to Austin in April when he delivered the keynote address at the Civil Rights Summit at the LBJ Library and Museum. He's scheduled Wednesday for a fundraiser at the home of Austin filmmaker Robert Rodriguez. Donors will pay between $5,000 and $32,000 a plate for dinner with the president. He's then scheduled to stay the night and attend another fundraiser Thursday before giving a speech about the economy. Tickets to that speech will be given out starting at 8:30 tomorrow morning outside of the Paramount Theater on Congress Avenue. The doors open Thursday morning at 9:45. The crisis at the border is a growing component of a larger debate on immigration. Miguel Almaguer reports in depth.
A show of support for Central American immigrants in San Diego. 60 miles away in Murrieta, 5 protesters arrested during a demonstration against those same immigrants. A microcosm of the heated emotions swirling around the illegal immigration of tens of thousands of Central American families. Esperanza and her 6-year-old son Edwin fled El Salvador, traveling 17 days by foot and bus before reaching the Texas border. I just prayed and prayed the whole way, she says, that God would help us and keep us safe. Well over 50,000 children have crossed the U.S. border since last October. 75% of them are from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. NBC's Stephanie Gosk is there.
It's illegal for children in Honduras to cross into Guatemala without their parents, but these Border Patrols say there's very little they can do to stop it. They're responsible for about 45 miles of the border, and there's only 20 of them.
You have to be crazy to embark on this journey.
Pulitzer Prize-winning author Sonia Nazario should know. She made the trek during research for her book, Enrique's Journey.
How treacherous is it?
The journey is incredibly dangerous. There are bandits alongside the rails who will rob you and rape you and sometimes kill you.
How to handle the influx of immigrants and families like these, dividing the nation and Congress. Jay Johnson is the Homeland Security Secretary.
Our message to those who come here illegally, our border is not open to illegal migration.
That was Miguel Almaguer reporting. The Honduran government confirms some of the families being housed in U.S. holding facilities are already being deported. You can count on KXAN News and KXAN.com for continuing in-depth coverage of the border crisis and President Obama's visit to Austin this week. An update to developing news that we reported this morning. The Department of Veterans Affairs in South Austin is cleared of a bomb threat after security guards found what they believed was a suspicious package. In El Paso, a tragic reminder of the dangers of leaving a child in a hot car. A 2-year-old girl died yesterday. Paramedics tried to revive her with CPR, but they were unsuccessful. And this comes at a time where we're seeing our temperatures rise throughout the week. David Yeomans is here with a look at that.
Just such a sad reminder. We're talking about today being some of the hottest weather we've seen and only getting hotter through the 7-day forecast.
Right.
So a big reminder to really just never ever leave children or of course pets as well in a hot car unattended. We've got a blog post for you just showing how hot it gets, how quickly on the KXAN weather blog. To get there, just going over to KXAN.com under the weather tab there on that top banner, click on weather blogs and look at this. Even when it's 85 degrees in 10 minutes, it'll be over 100 in your car, and 95 degrees, it'll be 114 degrees in your car. Not only do we have those interesting stats, but also just some useful tips to notice heat stroke in your pets through these summer months. So there we go. That's on the KXAN weather blog. So this afternoon, check out this hot sunshine already from the Paramount Theater camera. This is a live view for you that we always have on KXAN.com. A few people out and about braving the heat and sunshine. 90 degrees already right here in Austin. That's a few degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago. Above 90 right now in Llano. Just about everybody else in the mid to upper 80s, already rising up to 89 degrees in LaGrange. Well, I told you we're forecasting some of the hottest weather we've seen. 97 degrees is the hottest temperature we've seen in 2014 in Austin, and I think we'll hit that again. So a tie for the hottest temperature we've seen so far this afternoon. Now, we do have a very slight chance of rain in our eastern counties, only at about 10%, even for the folks way over in LaGrange and Giddings. Here in Austin and the Hill Country, I do believe we'll be staying dry through the afternoon. Now, I told you the temperatures will be getting hotter when we look toward the late work week into next weekend. A typical summer-like ridge of high pressure is set to set up overhead, and it could lead into our first triple-digit days of the year. We'll show you just how hot we're forecasting coming up in First Warning Weather.
At least 3 people are dead after a powerful earthquake today near the Mexico-Guatemala border. A 6.9 magnitude earthquake damaged dozens of homes, sparked landslides, and knocked over utility poles. The deaths were reportedly caused by collapsed walls. The quake struck at 6:23 this morning on the Pacific coast, and it was felt as far away as Mexico City, but so far there are no reports of damage there. A heartbreaking end to the holiday weekend. A brother and sister drowned in Lake Georgetown. It happened just after 5 o'clock last night at Russell Park. The victims were a 6-year-old girl and her 4-year-old brother. Their identities have not been released. Investigators say it appears the kids were playing a game to see who could hold their breath the longest. Tension is rising on the West Bank, where amateur video supposedly shows Israeli police beating an American teenager, causing outrage over the weekend. It happened amid growing anger over the recent deaths of 4 Israeli teenagers. Ayman Moyadeen reports.
In Gaza, it was a chaotic night. At the main hospital, Palestinian doctors worked to save the injured from an explosion that left 7 Hamas fighters dead. The Israeli military says it did not attack the Palestinian militants, but did launch airstrikes into Gaza. In East Jerusalem, workers began cleaning up the aftermath of a week of violent clashes, triggered by the brutal murder of a Palestinian teenager burned alive in a revenge attack for the killing of 3 Jewish teens by suspected Palestinian militants. Today, in the spot where his son was kidnapped, Hussein Abu Khdeir says he wants the maximum punishment for 6 Jewish extremists Israel says it has arrested. And there's now growing outrage over amateur video showing the beating of an American teenager while he was in Israeli police custody. 15-year-old Tariq Khdeir from Tampa, Florida, said he was watching protests when he was arrested.
I remember them punching me, and after the couple of punches, I went unconscious.
Today, he's home, hurt, but happy to be alive. The U.S. State Department says it is profoundly troubled by reports that Tariq was beaten while in Israeli police custody. Now, for its part, the Israeli government says it will launch an investigation into reports of police brutality. But for now, the family is focused on getting their young son the proper medical care he needs before they return back to the United States next week and consider any possible legal actions against the Israeli government. Ayman Moyadeen, NBC News, Jerusalem.
Take a live look at the New York Stock Exchange today. A lot of red out there as the market backs down from record highs amid a waiting game by investors. Second quarter earnings reports filter out this week, and there are fears the Fed may raise interest rates sooner than expected. Right now, the Dow Jones is down 0.34%. A shark attack survivor is now telling his story today, and he was even given the opportunity to thank one of his rescuers. Steve Robles was bitten yesterday by a great white shark off the Southern California coast. He thanked 19-year-old Justin Hoot, who came to his rescue. Robles says he's upset at a fisherman who hooked the shark but did not cut the line right away.
And I saw that shark just eyeball to eyeball, just like you and I, like exactly the same distance. And it came in and bit me.
I grabbed one of them, paddled out, and then by that time we had gotten you onto a soft top surfboard. And so then there were probably like 6 of us pushing you in.
Robles is now recovering from serious bites under his right arm and a punctured artery in his thumb. He says he will return to swimming in the ocean, though. Alleged sex abuse by priest front and center at the Vatican. Coming up, the Pope's meeting with 6 victims, the first meeting of its kind inside Vatican walls. Also, imagine living underwater for more than a month. We'll have an in-depth look at the project by Jacques Cousteau's grandson and his aquanauts. But up next, a growing threat of terror and new security safeguards at U.S. airports. Your cell phone, tablets, and other devices better be in working order.
KXAN investigates issues that impact your justice system, your money, and your safety.
A new law to protect the innocent is leading to longer wait times for trial and could end up keeping killers on the street.
If it turns out that it is creating a backlog, what do you think the solution is for that?
You got to spend more money to make sure you're getting the right person.
We revealed the state's request for a bigger budget using your tax dollars.
KXAN News, investigating stories that matter to you every day.
Vehicle head-on collision, 1 ejected female, labored breathing, head injuries, not conscious, advised 2572, will be 1 fatality.
If you have serious injuries, you need experienced lawyers. You need the Bonilla Law Firm, 441-1111.
I know the other driver was at fault and you were hurt, but I don't care!
After a car wreck, you need somebody to stand up to the insurance company. Call me. I'll go to bat for you. Like I did for this client after she got T-boned, hurt her ribs and arm. I got her $40,659.06 in her pocket. Look, if you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. It's just that easy.
You don't even have to leave your house. We'll come to you. Call 512-477-7333.
You were just supposed to buy the couch. What did you do?
To get the best deal, I had to buy the set.
Why did you choose to buy extra things we don't need?
You shouldn't have to buy what you don't want. When you call 1-855-1-TWC, they'll help you get the products you want at the best value for you.
All we wanted was affordable internet. Do we have to buy additional products?
If all you want is internet, choose Time Warner Cable's everyday low-priced internet for only $14.99 a month, with no extra products to buy or long-term contract to sign. And it's not a promotional price. All you have to do is call 1-855-1-TWC and make the switch.
$14.99 a month?
Yep, $14.99 a month.
And no long-term contract to sign?
No long-term contract to sign.
Well, at least we have the most comfortable house in the neighborhood now. Oh!
You make the call. Choose better.
Call today or visit TWC.com now to get everyday low-price internet for $14.99 a month. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Thank you, Daddy, for defending our country.
Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your bravery.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Daddy.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance can be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Boston 911.
The car is really, really bad here. She's bleeding from everywhere. She can't move her leg.
Officers and EMS are on the way.
If you're injured in a serious car wreck, the Bonilla Law Firm will fight to get you results. Bonilla Law Firm, 441-1111.
Roof leaking? Need a new roof? Call KXAN Roofing and Repair. Roofing at its best with quality and pride since 1979. KXAN Roofing, 479-0510.
Welcome back to KXAN News at noon as we approach 12:15 during this Monday lunch hour, and the Circuit of the Americas cleaning up after the big 4th of July fireworks this past Friday, and now gearing up for a series of concerts out at the amphitheater Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, starting with Lionel Richie and CeeLo Green on Thursday. Passengers on flights to the United States are now facing extra scrutiny at overseas airports. It comes on the heels of U.S. intelligence reports indicating that bomb makers might be testing new technology to take down planes. Tom Costello reports.
Across Europe and the Middle East, a sudden stepped-up security presence for all U.S.-bound flights after American intelligence warned of a possible new terror threat. A welcome response for Americans headed home.
It makes sense. It makes sense to have added security. It makes me feel a bit safer.
The new regulations require passengers to power on their electronic devices before boarding, including phones, tablets, computers, and iPods. If they don't power up, they're not allowed on the plane, and the passenger could be subject to secondary screening. The concern that al-Qaeda-related terror groups are working on a way to put an explosive inside a battery-powered device to take down a plane. Now, at the request of the U.S. government, airlines and airports are ramping up security on direct flights to the U.S. The Homeland Security Secretary on Meet the Press.
I directed that we step up our aviation security at some last point of departure airports coming into the United States. This is not something to overreact to or over-speculate about, but it's something we felt was necessary.
For years, al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula has been fixated on bringing down a plane, behind the Christmas 2009 underwear bomb attempt and the 2010 plot targeting cargo planes with sophisticated bombs hidden in printer cartridges. The American government now believes they're intent on getting around security checkpoint technology.
The bad guys, our enemies, have not lost their interest in commercial aviation. They're working very hard at it day in and day out.
Check out this incredible video we're getting out of Iowa. A tornado touched down overnight south of the city of Waterloo, and you can see it tearing into the ground, hitting some trees. There were several reports of tornadoes in the area last night. Fortunately, though, there are no reports of serious injury or major structure damage. It could be a different story in Japan, though. 80,000 people in Amakusa are being asked to evacuate ahead of the strongest typhoon so far in the 2014 season. Right now, it's a tropical cyclone, and heavy rain is already falling in southern Japan. U.S. military officials at the American bases say they are preparing for the worst as it could reach a Category 5 strength by tomorrow. David, this has the potential to do some major damage.
It's incredible. Of course, a big concern for everyone in Japan, Brian, but also for the U.S. Air Base in Okinawa, expecting a big impact from this storm. We've got the latest for you on the KXAN weather blog on Super Typhoon in the Western Pacific. And guess what? It is already almost a Category 5 storm, or what we would call that over here. Winds are right now at 150, just shy of that Category 5 threshold of 157 miles per hour, but winds are gusting near 200 miles per hour. Just an incredible storm. You can read about that right now on the KXAN weather blog. Well, back here at home, very quiet and very hot. This is a live view from the Austonian weather cam. Looking off toward the southeast, there's I-35 crossing over Lady Bird Lake. Another kind of hazy day with just a few clouds in the sky. Already up to 90 degrees here in Austin. The air is just a little bit drier than we've seen, a little bit less humidity out there today, so that's helping to raise these temperatures very quickly, and it could lead into the hottest day that we've seen so far this year. 88 degrees right now in Georgetown, 90 again here in Austin, 91 already out in Llano, and of course these temperatures being aided by just a lot of sunshine out there. We have been rain free over the past 12 hours, and we still have this little south and southeasterly wind, and that's bringing in just enough moisture, especially to our eastern counties, to still include that very slight chance of a shower or storm later on today. But again, that's not for most of us, just for our folks east of I-35. So let's check out how this should play out. This is our clouds and radar forecast showing you what the satellite and radar picture should look like throughout the day today. Starting you off at noon, keep your eye here on the right-hand corner of your screen. We'll step you through 2 p.m. Notice an isolated shower may be impacting LaGrange and Giddings. After 2 p.m., those continue off toward the north. Notice, though, really expected to just skirt our furthermost east counties. Folks along and west of the interstate almost certainly going to stay dry today, and those showers will be moving out of our eastern counties by later on this evening. So your weather headlines on this Monday, July 7th, a very hot afternoon. In fact, some of the hottest temperatures we've seen all year. I'll show you that in just a moment. Isolated shower possible for our folks east of I-35, and even hotter temperatures near 100-degree heat is on the way. We're talking about 98 degrees on Saturday next weekend, 99 of Sunday next weekend. I know it's only Monday, but never too early to start making your plans to start enjoying this summertime heat. Besides that, we will have pretty comfortable mornings, temperatures near 70 because of that bit of drier air. Now, today, 97 degrees in Austin. That would tie our hottest temperature that we've seen all year. Gusty south wind with just a few high clouds passing by. Tonight, 74 degrees in town. Few clouds building in, especially toward the morning hours. Now, your 7-day forecast is showing that slight rain chance today east of I-35. Tomorrow, again, east of I-35. But then mainly dry and much, much hotter weather takes over as that ridge of high pressure settles in next weekend. Temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100. We could very well see our first triple digits of the year, even right here in Austin. Brian?
All right, thanks, David. Still ahead on KXAN News at noon. The summer debuts some cute new zoo babies. We'll take you around the country to show you the most adorable newborns. And consider yourself warned, construction on North Lamar causing major traffic backups. We'll be right back.
One team with one goal: to investigate for you, because you have the right to know what happens in your city. The KXAN investigators get you answers the only way we know how, with relentless drive, determination, dedication. Because at the end of the day, the most important part of our story is delivering results to you. In-depth, investigative, only on KXAN News and KXAN.com.
So this board gives me rates on Progressive Direct and other car insurance companies?
Yes.
But you're Progressive and they're them?
Yes.
But they're here?
Yes.
Are you?
There?
Yes.
No.
Are you them?
I'm me.
But the lowest rate is from them?
Yes.
So them's best rate is?
Here.
So where are them?
Aren't them here?
I already asked you that.
When?
Feels like a while ago.
You want to take it from the top?
Rates for us and them. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Healthcare. Let's be honest. It just has a way of making you feel less human. Between all the paperwork, the jargon, and the bills, somewhere along the way, healthcare lost its human touch. At Seton, we don't treat patients. We care for people. It's how we're healing healthcare, one human at a time. Welcome to Human Care.
This man is not sick. That's what I told her.
He just said Grande's offering even better TV and internet, but charging me less.
What? We got a code blue! What? We are offering more and charging less.
He's so sick, he's delusional.
What are we gonna do?
Hold him down! No, that's not necessary. Clear!
When we say we're here for you, we mean it. Get 50 meg internet, TV, DVR, and modem for just $59.99 a month. Call 866-2GRANDE to sign up and ask about our 1 gig service in Austin.
It's official. 4 out of 5 nerds agree that action figures are way cooler than dolls. But seriously, folks, Computer Nerds is here to help with your computer needs. We'll come to your home or office, sit down with you in front of your computer, and answer your questions and try to solve your problems.
When you need help with your computer, call 1-800-493-NERD, and we'll send a nerd right over.
In a world of ever-rising taxes, only one man would sell us out on property taxes, then try to nearly triple our sales tax. Glenn Hager is the tax man. This summer, be afraid, be very afraid, because the tax man cometh, and only one man can stop him.
I'm Mike Collier, the Watchdog.
This summer's must-see event is The Watchdog Stops the Taxman. Rated T for taxes.
Roof leaking? Need a new roof? Call KXAN Roofing and Repair. Roofing at its best with quality and pride since 1979. KXAN Roofing, 479-0510.
Welcome back this afternoon. A section of North Lamar Boulevard will be closed to traffic for the next 4 to 6 weeks. At least 2 lanes will be. The area between 24th and 28th Streets was reduced to 1 lane each direction this morning. The reason is the Shoal Creek restoration project. Crews are moving the sewer line that currently runs in the creek and burying it under Lamar Boulevard. In order to do that, they need to dig up the roadway, though. It's a project that can't be done overnight, so the lanes could be reopened during the day.
The reason for that is so we save time in the overall construction duration. Otherwise, we'd have to set up and break down every day. It gives the construction workers a longer period of time during the day to work, and it gives them the opportunity to work weekends as well.
The goal is to wrap up the project before the kids go back to school. And it's the battle of the boots, badges, and bandages this week. The 7th annual competition between the Austin Police and Fire Departments and the Austin-Travis County EMS kicks off today. You can vote for your favorite department when you donate blood at the North Lamar, Round Rock, or South Austin donor centers. The winner will then be announced on Saturday. Emergency officials also say there is an increased need for type O negative blood. Two brothers in Ohio celebrated both an unusual milestone and a new Guinness World Record on Saturday. 62-year-old Ronnie and Donnie Gallion are now officially the longest-living conjoined twins. The two men outlived previous record holders Ing and Cheng Bunker, who were the basis for the term Siamese twins in the 1800s. Friends and family joined the brothers at a block party celebration where they say the pair has been active in the community for years.
They're going out watching the football games, the baseball games, being part of the neighborhood again. This is what the neighborhood wanted.
Well, the brothers say they're already looking forward to their 63rd birthday. Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling faces off with his wife in court today over the sale of the team. Shelly Sterling has been trying to sell the basketball team for a record $2 billion, but Donald Sterling is against it. Shelley will ask a California judge to approve an agreement she reached with billionaire Steve Ballmer last month. That was after doctors declared her husband mentally incapacitated. In April, the NBA banned Donald Sterling for life and fined him after recording surfaced of him making racist comments. Still ahead on KXAN News at noon, Pope Francis and 6 sex abuse victims meet face to face. We'll be right back.
Worst morning ever.
Processur.
Best morning ever.
Bon, flaky, gooey, processur.
Oh, what is it?
There are no marshmallows in this box of Lucky Charms.
Huh. Weird.
Seriously?
What?
They're magically delicious.
It's like AT&T knew what we wanted.
Just the other day, we were saying we wanted a TV experience that fit into our life.
And our budget.
And then we see this Uverse TV deal.
Call to get Uverse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Keep the same great price for 2 years guaranteed. Plus, get a total home DVR included for life.
Great deal, huh? And get this, I've always wanted to put a TV in here, but there's no TV outlet. Now we can. By adding the wireless receiver from AT&T, we can move the TV where we want.
And with the total home DVR, we can record 4 shows at once and play them back in any room. We never miss a show now.
Call to get Uverse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Keep the same great price for 2 years guaranteed. Plus, get a total home DVR included for life.
This AT&T deal was made for us.
Look, they even knew I wanted to record this show.
That was me, hun.
That was her.
At iMart Express, only one thing looks as good as you in our glasses. Our prices. For a limited time, get 2 pairs with single vision lenses for only $39.71. Or 2 pairs with no-line bifocals, just $45 more per pair. All with a free 1-year frame warranty. And with our 1-hour service, you can buy today, wear today. Prices like $39.71 for 2 complete pairs won't last. So come in today and get your glasses for less at iMart Express.
For a free career guide, text Cook AUS to 94576 or call 877-505-CHEF, 877-505-2433.
KXAN weather is brought to you by McCulloch Heating and Air Conditioning. For AC problems you need fixed now, turn to the experts. Your authorized Carrier dealer. Online at coolmenow.com.
Welcome back this afternoon. Pressure is mounting for President Obama to visit the Mexico border while he's in Texas this week. He's headed to Austin Wednesday for 2 Democratic fundraisers, making the trip amid the growing border crisis where hundreds of children are crossing into Texas illegally. So far, the White House says there are no plans for the president to visit the border. A spokesman says the president can't be everywhere he wants to or even needs to be. This is video from the president's last visit to Austin in April when he delivered the keynote address at the Civil Rights Summit at the LBJ Library and Museum. He's scheduled to return Wednesday for a fundraiser at the home of Austin filmmaker Robert Rodriguez. Donors will pay between $5,000 and $32,000 for a plate with the president. And then he's scheduled to stay the night and attend another fundraiser Thursday before giving a speech about the economy. Tickets for that speech will be given out tomorrow starting at 8:30 in the morning outside the Paramount Theater on Congress Avenue. The doors open Thursday morning at 9:45. Congress returns today with just 4 weeks before their next break to deal with the current immigration crisis. By year's end, 90,000 children without parents are expected to enter the U.S. from Central America illegally. Democrats and Republicans are at odds within their own parties with what to do. Some lawmakers want to seal off the border. The Obama administration is asking for $2 billion in emergency funds.
Added flexibility to deal with the children in particular, but in a humanitarian and fair way. We have to do right by the children.
We'll hear more about the solutions that lawmakers are proposing coming up in a live report at 5 and 6 o'clock. A U.S. teenager apparently seen on video being beaten by Israeli police is now under house arrest. 15-year-old Tariq Kadir, who lives in Florida, says he saw 3 people coming at him and quickly lost consciousness before waking up in a hospital. His face is badly bruised with both eyes and his mouth swollen. Amateur video shows Israeli soldiers detaining and then beating a person on the ground. Kadir's family says the 15-year-old was the one beaten.
I was actually brutally attacked from the side and heard somebody screaming. They came and attacked me and actually went unconscious, and I woke up in the hospital.
Why did they attack you?
I don't know. That's why I ran.
What do you remember?
I remember like 2 people coming in and hitting me from behind, and then I went to sleep. That's it. I was screaming. I was just screaming when they hit me. That's it.
The mayor of Jerusalem says if policemen are found guilty of beating Tariq, they will be severely punished. Pope Francis confronted an issue which has brought a lot of controversy to his church. Claudio Lavenga has the details.
Pope Francis on Monday morning met with 6 victims of sexual abuse by Roman Catholic priests here inside the Vatican. It was the first time Pope Francis met with victims of abuse since he was elected 16 months ago, and also the first time any pope met with victims of abuse inside Vatican walls.
This pope, the new pope, really has taken care to look into the problem and to find out why it happened.
Now, he started the day early by saying Mass in his private residence, the Domus Santa Marta, the Mass that was attended by the victims, and after the Mass, he spent some time with them privately. He spent at least half an hour with each of them. Well, we don't know what exactly they told each other, but the Vatican spokesperson at a presser after the meeting said that the meeting was very emotional for both of them. Well, some survivor networks like Snap said that this was only a publicity stunt, but once again the Vatican defended the action of the Pope, saying that if only they saw the emotion that runs so high during those meetings, they will have understood that the Pope really meant well in his drive to make sure that no more sexual abuses by priests will happen in the future, and enough care is taken of those who suffered in the past. Claudio Lavanga, NBC News at the Vatican.
Mischievous monkeys in a city in southwest China have been caught stealing food from residents and tourists. Check this out. The video shows one monkey just going right up to a person and stealing some milk. Local wildlife officials are trying to catch the monkeys and then release them back into the wild. Meanwhile, people have been encouraged not to feed or play with the monkeys. Around here, you better hold on to your water. It's getting hot out there.
No doubt. Already 90 degrees, Brian. That's 3 degrees warmer at this noon hour than we were yesterday at noon, and that's how you know it is going to be a hot day out there today. A quick look at temperatures area-wide show everybody rising to near 90 degrees, 89 right now in Burnett. How about our forecast high today, 97 degrees. If we do manage that in Austin, that would tie with our hottest day that we've seen so far in 2014. Could be an isolated shower in our eastern counties later this afternoon, but everybody along and west of the interstate going to stay dry and hot. We're talking about near 100-degree temperatures in your 7-day forecast. That's coming up.
And much to your kids' chagrin, experts say now is the time to start planning for back to school. What you need to know when we continue.
Do you suffer from constipation? Is no specific medical condition causing your constipation? Local doctors are currently conducting a clinical research study for the treatment of chronic idiopathic constipation that may be of interest to you. Qualified participants must be 18 to 80 years old, have had constipation for at least 3 months, and have less than 3 bowel movements a week. To learn more about this study for chronic idiopathic constipation, call 512-380-9595 or visit fstrials.com.
My car accident caused back and neck injuries. The insurance company wasn't playing fair. Wainwright's team went after the insurance company like bulldogs. Wainwright got me $103,485.
You deserve respect and justice, so we demand it.
You need me to remind you how a deposition works?
You see, that's funny because I actually remember everything.
Okay.
We've got some questions for you. Remember, you're under oath.
The truth is, with Time Warner Cable, you can set your DVR from anywhere with your mobile device. Plus, you can watch Suits and thousands of shows live and on demand in your home.
It's impressive, but not relevant to our case. Why'd you call this guy in?
Me? I thought you called him in.
Donna?
Call now to get a bundle starting at $79.99 a month. Upgrade to a qualifying package to get a free Dell 2-in-1. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Real members are saving real money on auto insurance through AAA.
I was pretty shocked to find out that I was going to save $400 with AAA. I thought that it was going to be much more expensive.
With AAA, I saved $300 a year. $200 goes a long way, especially in this economy.
When you're trying to raise a family, and especially a family of 5, and in this economy, it's really nice to be able to save.
At AAA, saving money matters to our members, so it matters to us. Switch, and you could save up to $369 on auto insurance. That could be hundreds better than State Farm, Farmers, even Allstate.
I have my house insurance. I have my car insurance. It was a no-brainer for me to go with AAA.
Oh, I love AAA so much because it's enabled us to do other things with that money.
With AAA, we love the customer service.
And the price.
I'm glad I switched. What are you waiting for?
Join the thousands who are saving. Call 888-283-2631 for your free quote. AAA Insurance. So easy, so smart, so switch.
Ringling Brothers presents Built to Amaze, an all-new live event engineered for excitement and family fun. Opening night tickets start at $10. Ringling Brothers presents Built to Amaze. Opens August 20th at the Frank Kerwin Center. Get your tickets today at TexasBoxOffice.com.
KXAN News is brought to you by Gasthaus Schmidt. Whether you're shopping, touring the wineries, or looking for a romantic weekend, call Gasthaus Schmidt for all your Hill Country lodging needs.
Welcome back. 7 weeks from today, students in Austin will be returning to class, but that won't stop their parents from getting a head start on the back-to-school sales. A National Retail Federation survey found last summer nearly a quarter of Americans began their school shopping 2 months in advance.
An advantage to shopping as early as July is that you're guaranteed to get your hands on the hottest products. If you do wait till August, you likely won't get those types of items. If you are a family with a lot of kids, that late August shopping time frame can really be chaotic. And for those that like to plan, shopping early is really the way to go.
The better bargains are available now because it helps retailers move merchandise to make way for the next sales event. Summer heat means shedding layers of clothing and, of course, showing a little more skin, but a lot of us still have the winter weight that we need to shed. Mike Wilbur has some expert advice on toning up for summer.
Big, explosive, powerful jumps.
Tabitha training is a 4-minute workout you can do anywhere. Chris Hemsworth and Vanessa Milano are fans. The key is alternating 20-second moves with 10 seconds of rest. Start with a bear crawl.
She's going to start to travel towards the front of her mat, come back to the back of her mat, and she's going to jump up and bring her feet together. She wants to move as fast and as hard as she can to exhaust and rest.
The scissor lunge.
Quick, quick, slow, slow.
And a modified plank.
Now she's going to bring her left knee in towards her elbow. She's going to really hug that lower belly in. That looks beautiful. This is an all-over body chiseler.
Diet's important too. To trim the fat fast, celebrity nutritionist Cynthia Pasquella recommends the SoCal Cleanse. And if that's not your thing, ditch soda, alcohol, deli meats, and protein bars.
Protein bars, which a lot of people reach for in a pinch because they think they're super healthy, are actually packed with sugar most of the time, and you want to avoid that.
Dropping dairy as well as gluten-rich foods like breads and pastas will also help you beat the bloat. As for foods you should be eating,
I love avocado, I love coconut oil. Things like nuts and seeds, beans, lentils, all of those are packed with protein and fiber, so you're going to be full for hours.
And adding spicy peppers and cinnamon can help speed up metabolism. Mike Wilbur, NBC News.
North Carolina's new Voter Information Verification Act is up for debate today. It requires voters to present a photo ID at the polls. It also reduces early voting time and eliminates same-day voter registration. Opponents say the law disproportionately affects African American voters. Today, a judge is hearing arguments from the ACLU and other groups who want the law put on hold while lawsuits against it go to trial. State lawyers are asking the judge to dismiss the lawsuits. And you'll recall several groups are suing the state of Texas, saying our new voter ID law prevents minorities from voting. The law requires voters to bring a photo ID to the polls. The state says the law is designed to keep voter fraud down, but the case against it might not go to court until after the November election. It's scheduled to start in early September, but the Department of Justice is now asking for more time. Still ahead on KXAN News at noon, Jacques Cousteau's grandson and his aquanauts and a groundbreaking experiment to live underwater. We'll be right back.
When you're hungry, here's a little trick. Jump in the car and head to Golden Chick. Golden Chick. Just one bite and you'll forget the rest. The original and still the best. Golden Chick.
You were just supposed to buy the couch. What did you do?
To get the best deal, I had to buy the set.
Why did you choose to buy extra things we don't need?
You shouldn't have to buy what you don't want. When you call 1-855-1-TWC, they'll help you get the products you want at the best value for you.
All we wanted was affordable internet. Do we have to buy additional products?
If all you want is internet, choose Time Warner Cable's everyday low-priced internet for only $14.99 a month, with no extra products to buy or long-term contract to sign. And it's not a promotional price. All you have to do is call 1-855-1-TWC and make the switch.
$14.99 a month?
Yep, $14.99 a month.
And no long-term contract to sign?
No long-term contract to sign.
Well, at least we have the most comfortable house in the neighborhood now. Oh!
You make the call. Choose better.
Call today or visit TWC.com now to get everyday low price internet for $14.99 a month. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Flight 294 is now boarding.
Looks like we're about to board.
I'm just comparing car insurance rates at Progressive.com.
Is that where they show the other guys' rates too? Cool.
Yeah.
Hi.
Who's ready for the garlic festival? This guy. Bringing our competitors' rates to you. Now that's Progressive.
110 people a day move to Central Texas, making Austin traffic even worse. But Urban Rail could help. The newest proposal from Project Connect, Urban Rail will arrive every 10 to 15 minutes, 7 days a week, and feature 16 stations and 4 park and rides. It will connect the convention center, downtown businesses, entertainment areas, the new medical school, UT, and lots of neighborhoods, and would be part of a growing system with connections to bus and commuter rail. Urban Rail could expand to serve even more of Austin in the future. Learn more at projectconnect.com.
After a car wreck, you need somebody to stand up to the insurance company. I'll go to bat for you. Like I did for this client after she got T-boned and hurt her neck and back. I got $31,422.15 in her pocket. Call me. It's just that easy.
Right now, Meredith is deciding to rededicate her life to caregiving. James will decide to take his biggest step yet in his professional life. Right now, you can join them at South University. At our College of Nursing and Public Health, you can earn an RN to Bachelor of Science in Nursing. At South University, we can prepare you with the knowledge and abilities you need for those you will care for. Call or visit us online. Your healthcare future takes its next step right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Velocity Credit Union.
Don't miss out on Velocity's limited time certificate special. Find out more at velocitycu.com.
A Missouri man charged with killing his wife last month is now on the run after escaping while watching fireworks on Friday night. A deputy brought Jason McClurg and 9 other inmates outside the county jail to watch the fireworks. McClurg slipped away and the unidentified deputy was fired. The sheriff said it was the second time an inmate escaped on his watch. Imagine spending 31 days living underwater. That's what Fabian Cousteau and his aquanauts have been doing since June 1st, and now they're back on dry land sharing what they accomplished. Gilma Alvalos reports on the record-setting mission.
Aquarius, it's been a splash. Greeted by the sun and a familiar face, ocean explorer Fabian Cousteau emerges from the water.
I wish I could say I was happy to be here.
Back on land, bittersweet after calling this 81-ton living reef an underwater lab the size of a school bus home for the last 31 days.
Back to the land of you Earth dwellers.
Hard to leave this behind.
Cue the fish. Look at that. That's my front view.
Imagine falling asleep by counting not sheep, but exotic marine life.
They come up to the viewport and look at you. Their eyeball follows you as you walk around. So you've been to aquariums before where you're watching the fish. Well, they're watching us.
The aquanauts kept underwater diaries.
We had a pretty big day.
Letting fans live 63 feet below vicariously.
I ended up actually taking a nap at the bottom of the ocean.
You sleep when you can because this was serious work, heading research on climate change and the effect of pollution on coral reefs, using some of the latest technology to capture amazing images.
There's a lot of critters that just move really fast, and only with the camera can we see the details of their movements.
Each team produced the equivalent of a year's worth of research. But they did have fun too, hosting guests like artist Wyland, and they even celebrated a birthday, what would have been the late Jacques Cousteau's 104th birthday. The entire team donned his iconic red cap. This mission builds on Fabian's grandfather's legacy.
It's a quote my grandfather's that says, "In order to film a fish, you must become a fish."
And what fish they filmed.
Oh, did you see that?
Dozens of people worked above ground to make it all happen. This is Mission Control out of Isla Mirada, where a large team took turns monitoring the safety of the aquanauts 24/7 through various cameras underwater. At the helm, Roger Garcia, who spent long hours at the watch desk. He got a front row seat to all the goings-on.
It is like watching a reality show.
A show that the whole world was invited to. Through Skype in the classroom, children from around the globe got to ask the team their questions. Cameras captured their underwater activities, streamed online 24/7. When we asked if there was something they wished the world hadn't seen,
What happens at Aquarius stays at Aquarius.
back on land, the aquanauts were eager to indulge in creature comforts.
So we actually dragged the mission doctor down to the burger place down the street so we could get hamburgers.
Home sweet home for these fish out of water.
I mean, I'm happy to be back, see friends and family, but I'm a little sad that this chapter's over.
Ready to take the next plunge.
Certainly would be a nice way to cool off with these rising temperatures, David.
That's right. Doesn't sound too bad, Brian. We're forecasting what we've seen to be the hottest day of the year thus far, tying that this afternoon, according to our forecast. We'll show you that in just a moment. Look at all this sunshine, though. The Austonian weather cam showing us a beautiful shot looking toward the north up Congress Avenue. There's the Capitol. Beautiful, bright sunshine all over the city of Austin. You do notice a little bit of a haze there in the sky, but temperature right now 90 degrees in Austin. That's a full 3 degrees warmer than we were yesterday at this time. That's how you can tell it's going to be a very hot one. Just a few high clouds passing over the sensor. The wind measurement is currently missing from the airport observations, or from the Camp Mabry observations, but they have been a little bit gusty from the southwest up to 15 miles per hour, and that's bringing in slightly drier air, and that lower dew point, or lower amount of humidity in the air, is going to help our temperatures rise even more quickly, and that's partially why we're already at 90 degrees on the lunch hour in Austin. Already at 93 out there. How about with some drier air right now in Llano, 89 degrees right now in Burnett, and hitting 90 on the dot over in LaGrange. And with that humidity over in Fayette County, you know it already feels like the mid-90s out there. Now, there are mainly clear skies overhead over the past 12 hours. You see those few high clouds drifting through our western counties and along I-35, but no rain falling over the past 12 hours, and we're not expecting a whole lot of it, but there is a very slight chance through the late afternoon hours. We do still have a little bit of moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, mainly into our eastern counties, and that's going to provide folks east of the interstate with just a very slight chance of rain this afternoon. Let's show you how those rain chances should shape up. This is our clouds and radar forecast. Starting you off about an hour from now, 1 p.m. this afternoon. This shows what the clouds and radar should look like through the afternoon. And notice, a little bit of shower activity coming in from the Texas coast. Our computer model brings it very close to LaGrange, possibly poking its way toward LaGrange and Giddings in Lee County through the early afternoon hours. But after 2 p.m., notice, instead of coming inward toward the interstate, those showers are just pulling straight off toward the north. That's why we're just expecting really a glancing blow of any isolated activity we do see, and that's why everybody along and west of the interstate is expected to stay dry through the afternoon and evening. So your weather headlines on this Monday, July 7th, a very hot afternoon. Matter of fact, we're forecasting that we tie the hottest temperature we've seen so far this year today in Austin. Now, an isolated shower will be possible in our eastern counties, but most of us going to just be hot and dry through the afternoon today, and even hotter weather is on the way. Could be pushing 100 degrees or even see that 100-degree mark by this weekend. Reason being, by this coming weekend, we're talking about a ridge of high pressure setting up just to our north, and this is a very typical summer pattern, and it's what often leads into our first 100-degree days of the year. Our forecast doesn't officially call for triple digits, but Saturday and Sunday looking very hot and very nice. Never too early to start making your plans for next weekend. 98 degrees in Austin Saturday and 99 on Sunday with nothing but that hot sunshine. So 97, your forecast high today. If we do manage that, that is again the hottest temperature we've seen all year in Austin. Tonight, 74 degrees. We will see a little bit of a southwesterly breeze continuing through the overnight. So just a slight chance of rain today and tomorrow, both east of I-35. Mainly dry, though, through the rest of the work week. And there are those temperatures pushing 100 degrees next weekend.
Let's take a look at our primetime lineup tonight on KXAN, starting at 7 o'clock with Last Comic Standing, and then it's 2 hours of American Ninja Warrior, followed by KXAN News at 10.
If you've been injured, will your attorney be confident enough to help you out with an interest-free loan? The answer is yes, because I'm your attorney. As always, I'll win your case, or else there's no attorney fee, and you'll never have to repay my loan. That's how confident I am. I'm Tony Wynn, 1-800-35-TEXAS.
Eventually, all homeowners will have a broken AC or heater. That's where ABC comes in. We understand that when your AC is broken, the background of the repair folks is a big deal. That's why all ABC personnel undergo a background check before they ever put on our uniform. Plus, we know that you want us to respect your home. Our specialists are trained to do just that, right down to the shoe covers. So when your AC needs service, call ABC.
ABC Home and Commercial Services.
At Austin Plastic Surgery Center, we listen to you.
We spend a lot of time trying to understand what the patient wants to achieve. We spend a lot of time in the operating room to focus on achieving those goals. And we also spend a lot of time after the surgery to make sure they heal in a way that gives them that result.
The results definitely exceeded my expectations.
It's worth it. The results are worth it.
For the rest of my life, I know I made the right decision.
Enhance your look, enhance your life with Austin Plastic Surgery Center and Dr. Maggi.
My name is Joanna Puritz, and I'm the owner of Printworks in Wilmington, North Carolina.
What does it take to keep a small business pressing ahead?
60 reams of paper, 3 can-do attitudes, 1 trusted companion.
And a partner who keeps everything running smoothly. Time Warner Cable Business Class. Switch today and get high-speed internet, Wi-Fi, LAN, email, and hotspot access starting at $69.99 per month when purchased with phone. With Business Class 10 meg internet, Printworks handles everything from emails to custom orders. And 4 dedicated phone lines help them connect with customers and meet deadlines.
So we can deliver 5,000 pages as promised.
Switch to Time Warner Cable Business Class and get high-speed internet, Wi-Fi, LAN, email, and hotspot access starting at $69.99 per month when purchased with phone. When your small business needs to be more productive,
1 call can make it possible.
Call today or visit us online to learn more.
If you're hurt because of a car accident, do not get a payday loan. You'll pay tons of interest. Do not get a title loan. You could lose your car. I can help you out with an interest-free loan. I'll win your case or else you'll never have to repay my loan. That's how confident I am. I'm Tony Wynn, 1-800-35-TEXAS.
Roof leaking? Need a new roof? Call KXAN Roofing and Repair. Roofing at its best with quality and pride since 1979. KXAN Roofing, 479-0510.
Welcome back once again to KXAN News at Noon. A live look at I-35 and 51st Street during this Monday lunch hour, and it looks like traffic is getting along just fine as people return to work from the long holiday weekend. David will have one more look at your forecast coming up. At zoos around the country today, new baby animals are making their debut. Some arrivals a little easier than others, but every animal has a story of its own. Joe Fryer reports.
In Southern California, a different kind of celebrity is getting paparazzi-like attention. Joanne, the baby gorilla.
He has the baby in his hand.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
After a perilous C-section birth, Joanne is now a star attraction at the San Diego Zoo's Safari Park.
It's cool, but I just like the babies because they're like so small.
With summer upon us, the tiniest animals have become some of the biggest draws at zoos across the country. Their births often heralded with such fanfare, you'd think they were royal babies. From African serval cats, small enough to hide in blades of grass at the Naples Zoo, to Aria the black rhino, who weighed more than 100 pounds when she was born at the Miami Zoo.
I think there's something in us that we absolutely love seeing babies. They've got that cuteness factor, of course.
Oh, man.
In so many ways, these furry tots remind us of human kids. Mealtime for a clouded leopard cub, nap time for Seymour the baby jaguar. Some even have their own version of the nanny cam, live video feeds watched by thousands, giving us a window into the first steps of a baby panda. Some new arrivals are born in the wild. On the edge of a massive fire in Alaska, firefighters rescued 5 orphaned wolf pups from their den. They're now being nursed back to health and will soon travel to their new home, the Minnesota Zoo, where they'll earn their own celebrity status.
Oh, there's a baby right there.
Just like Joanne.
If only they stayed that size forever.
Right? Pretty cute.
Super cute. All right. What's it looking like outside?
Just hot, hot, hot. 90 degrees at the last hour in Austin. Our temperature should update in a couple of minutes. I suspect we are already well into the low 90s because we're forecasting 97 degrees today. That's the hottest temperature we've seen so far this year. We should hit that in Austin. Just a slight chance of rain a few afternoons this work week. That'll only be in our eastern counties, but look how hot we are next weekend, up to near 100 degrees area-wide.
Keep the water handy. All right, thanks, David. Thanks for watching KXAN News at Noon. Join us for our next newscast coming up at 5 and 6 o'clock and throughout the day as news breaks at KXAN.com. Have a great Monday.